MMA Now, powered by Film On TV Networks.
I'm David Kano with Film On TV's MMA Now, and right now we're joined with Herb Dean, and we're at Combate Americas number 8. Herb, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. You know, I wasn't here refereeing the fights. I had a night off, but I trained, and the gym I trained at is the Fight Academy, and Heinrich, he was here doing his thing, so it was a rare time when I got to come out and support my guy, one of the guys that I've trained with for years, you know, so.
I always see you with your uniform on. How is it not having your uniform on to be at an event?
It's weird being at an event with short pants on. I understand. It's strange. The people haven't realized, most of the people don't know that Herb Dean has skinny legs, but, you know, they just have to live with it.
Well, right now we're in between. Perhaps it was the biggest event supposedly in UFC history, which pay-per-view buys didn't live up to that, but 202 is coming up. What do you think? Do you think 202 will beat out UFC 200?
I really don't know. You know, I mean, those are things that I can't predict, and I don't try to predict. You know, I get a call to come referee fights. I show up and referee them. The UFC does an amazing job of always putting the biggest fight in front of you. So it's going to be amazing. But I don't know what's going to get the bigger buys or what's not.
But from a fan perspective, and I know you look at things from a referee perspective, this seems to be like a fan favorite. Do you have a reason why that would be?
Nah, to be honest, I'm not really the guy to ask it because, like you said, I look at it from a referee perspective. I show up and I do my job. Those fights that I'm not refereeing, I get to relax and enjoy them as a fan because I'm a fan of the sport. But I'm not an expert on what the fans think or what the fans don't think.
As far as the fallout from UFC 200 because of steroids, I mean, you're a referee. Your job is to maintain control of what's going on in the ring. The Nevada State Athletic Commission, California, all the different athletic commissions, and USADA are in charge of the fighters' testing. Is that a health issue if someone takes steroids? Does that give them an advantage in the ring that you're refereeing?
Here's the deal. I show up, I like to talk about the things I'm in charge of. I'm in charge of the unified rules and enforcing those inside the octagon. One thing I do know is that our sports, combat sports, have the government involved, whereas the other sports don't have that. So we're under the most strict guidelines. We have outside influences regulating and looking into what we're doing. So I think our athletes are held up to a higher standard than any athletes, I believe. But I really don't have a much of an opinion on that because that's not really in the scope of my job. I'm not the one monitoring the test or any of that. I'm there if somebody does a groin kick or an eye poke, that's what I do.
The last question is, MMA is growing to a whole nother level. 20 years ago, 10 years ago, no one would have said, hey, I want to be a Herb Dean. I want to be a Big John McCarthy. I want to be a UFC or a Bellator or a referee in MMA. For someone that does want to become a referee, what's the best piece of advice for someone that wants to go through that process?
Well, you should go to a ABC recognized training course. I do one, herbdean.com. You can come and check out my course. I just did one. I usually only do it once a year because it's a lot of work for me. But I think I might do another one this year. So I might do another one in a couple of months. So check me out on herbdean.com. It's a good thing. I love it. Like I dread doing it because there's going to be people who I have to say no to, and it's long days and it's a lot of work. But at the end of the day, I'm always happy when I'm done. I've met more people who are passionate about our sport, you know, so it's a good thing. F2fightformula.com. That's what I'm most excited about. It's our rehydration drink that we have for the fighters after they make weight. It's the best hydration possible. Rehydration is a big thing with people today, and the guys who designed this, they did a really good job. F2fightformula.com. Check it out.
Is that better than Gatorade or Powerade or even like a vitamin water?
I believe it's better than anything out there. That's what I believe. A lot of the fighters use it, and check it out. Talk to some of the fighters. Check out their social media. They've used it. they recognize the difference.
I know I'm going overtime here, but I might not be able to ask you this question. Have you ever felt fear early on in your career when you're refereeing a fight like that? You might get clipped or someone might accidentally hit you while you're trying to break up a fight or you're stopping a fight?
I've never felt fear because of that, earlier or later. I haven't felt a lot of fear as far as for refereeing. Sometimes now, the sport has grown so big, you realize that it's very important. There's a lot on the line. But no, I haven't felt fear about someone hitting me or hurting me. The athletes are the ones who are going to be getting hurt. All I'm really focused on is doing the best job I can for them. I know there's a lot on the line, their personal risk, their personal safety, but everything they've worked for, everything they've sacrificed for is on the line at that point. And my job is to give the cleanest arbitration that I can for them at that time. And that's what I'm worried about.